What's up everyone, Speedy here. In this 1v1 video, we're going to be doing 2 live games as well as 1 replay review. So let's get right into it. Here we are in game number 1. Alright, misses up the kickoff. Play across. There, you want to take your time with it until you see the opponent has 0 momentum with the ball, then you want to make your shot. So that's why you play closer till it goes closer to the net, and then you make your play here, pop it right, grab this boost, could take time. Free ball. Could play that a lot better. Could put that way better. It's fake turn here. Can't really commit. Early chow, once you can tell he's going to go for the cut. At least forced to play. That's favorable. That's unfavorable. Also unfavorable. Tap flip there. There you go. That's better. So there, it's like once we both have that habit for the brief moment of that interaction that we're both flipping a lot, that's when it was good for me to change the pace of the situation by kind of waiting for him to commit. And then it becomes easier. Nice. Fortunately, he does miss that, so you just have to kind of take the free goal when you get it. Could have played that better, though. Just bad kickoff. Good, grab this boost. Could take time now. Gotta play that behind. There. Turn up a bit. It's a good turn. Caught me off guard there. I wasn't thinking he was gonna turn there. Can't do more than what I have here. Okay, he just gets the perfect shot. Yeah, it's just too much space. Okay. It's also the way I turned. Not doing that a second time. Pretty good buck. I'll play for space. Oh, that's just a perfect flick. Perfectly set up too. Nice. Well done. And get the goal. Nicely played. Good patience there, not committing with the flip. Once I see that he's trying to cut across, that's when you want to challenge. Another goal. Nice. Definitely need that lead. GG. Here we are in game number 2. Not great kickoff. Not a great flick, but does put pressure. Oh, damn, I got bamboozled by that. Oh, he missed the flip. Okay, thank you. Let's keep practicing the flicks. Couldn't retain the power there, that's fine. Why am I flipping there? Why am I flipping there? Why am I fucking flipping there? Why am I, like, tweaking? There's literally no reason to be making that play. So he's playing far behind. It'll take time. Let's play across. He has to leave. I don't really care if he's aggressive, it doesn't make a difference. Could try on the air dribble bump. Doesn't work out, but that's fine. Nice. Good dunk. Well done. Side flipping. He wants that boost as much as I do. Here, just don't shoot. Try and make that awkward. Get an own goal because it's going to be aggro there. Fake there. Nice. Great half flip chow into a fantastic missed shot. And then I do the double tap, of course. Of course. Such a goofy play, dude. I don't know why I'm missing my kickoffs a lot today. This plays fast. This will be aggro, that's fine. Good control. Good shot on net. Nice. Really good dunk there. Good patience there, just not to get myself away from the play there and just stay close. That was well done. That's it. Awesome. Good kickoff. Better kickoff this time. I should 50 that into him. That's worst case scenario. Yeah, honestly, just need to make sure it stays above post there, and I've been fine. And that bumps me? What? Wow. Okay. It's pretty insane, but okay. Almost just on gold. Yeah, that was a little too scary there. I got all the boost I need. It's not really scary. I'm not going there, dude. Why am I going there? Why am I fucking going there, dude? It's throwing a game because I'm stupid. Okay, so here we are in the replay portion of the video, and I'm going to actually show two games because these games are both really short. Just honestly some weird opponents. Seems to be a theme. It's like if you're not going against like underranked people, you're going against people that just kind of play super weird, or you're just going to go against what you're going to see in the next game. It's kind of funny goal. Opponent overcommits to the side here. This is actually a really good catch though too, because I think they were just expecting me to bring it to my corner. That's why they kept that momentum, but yeah, I'm not sure what they were looking for exactly. But the second game in this replay is just super weird because it was against somebody who's like clearly either a combination of a Smurf and or a freestyler, and you'll understand what I mean once you see it. It's just a weird opponent, especially in ranked. But, I mean, hey, it is what it is. We did win that game, though, too, which is just nice. So here, this has to do with the way I'm kicking off. So it's a weird flip, but it's also the timing of, like, when I'm flipping. Or at least when I'm jumping, rather. The jump timing is, like, really late. So here, look how late I'm jumping. Is like, I'm jumping at this point here. And he's jumping here. He actually ends up delaying the kickoff a bit, so let me see how he does this, because I actually played this going into it okay. Yeah, he does a delay. He does a slight delay kickoff. That's why it worked. It's bad side flip. Okay. I don't remember what happened here. I really was just more patience than anything. Single jump 50. Here, just had a fake there, and then place for the 50-50. Don't use my boost. I see I can grab these pads, so I'm like, okay, well, grab some pads here. He's trying to collect the ball, so that's when I realized it's a good time to actually challenge that. Just about the timing of like when he's trying to go for control. Here, just play across. Opponent does get another attempt at a shot. Here, it's just better to stay grounded. So in a situation like this, this can be a little sketchy, but once you get up here, it's better not to flip because you know your opponent's going to be making the cut here. So it's very obvious they're going to try to make a power slide cut into some kind of a semi-soft shot. You can't get a lot of power from it when you're trying to dribble the ball. If you separate from the ball and get a hook shot, that's where you can typically get better power out of it. So for me, it was just better to stay grounded. I was like, okay, take time. Don't have to rush it. Here, just trying to like get a small flick. I ended up actually giving him possession, which is obviously not good. The way you do this is like here, get possession. Now that I have possession, I don't need to be giving possession away. So like here, don't have to even flick. You just keep it close. The opponent's not doing anything, so there's no threat. So it's just about recognizing that in the moment that he's not threatening. You're just trying to put pressure by presence. Just trying to be close to the play. Tell the opponent's going to go. Almost like 99.9% of opponents in that situation will go there. And then here, try to get into the air slightly earlier than your opponent. Here, just make this awkward. Unfortunately, I could have scored this. I just rushed my shot. Didn't really need to. Check my behind. Make sure I've got space. Here's just taking time, take time, take time. And then go for the quick shot. So the reason that works, there's a major component of it. And it's just you're watching your opponent, watch the opponent's direction. You see how they're facing their goal side, so like this way. So they're facing out to in. So as I cut across here, I'm trying to force them to now face this way, but then now they're kind of like unsure to float. So as you cut across, you force that position, and then you flick over them when they're just getting ready to get momentum. And so the main thing is like you're just looking for trying to kind of get your momentum going for that play, and then you're forcing that awkwardness out of them. That's really the goal there. I should have scored this. Just was way too wide there. Opponent was like super slow there. I don't know why they just kind of didn't really go there. They had an opportunity there and they just kind of didn't do anything with it. Here I was like, okay, well, first priority, just try to watch the opponent come off the wall, see how they're going to play it. If they're awkward, then you can challenge. But if they're going to be kind of like really like gluey with the ball, that's where you want to be extra careful and kind of just watch for how they're going to play that here. Just half flip over, get this corner boost. Here, place for the 50. Kind of could have played that 50 better, to be honest. I remember this 50 was kind of scary. And the reason it was scary is the way I'm 50ing is I'm forward flipping into somebody that has momentum, also forward flipping from the side. So it's gonna kind of scrape across the ball. A better way to do this is about right here, is being a little bit closer. And then I would say ideally in this position, like you can see that he's going to go for like a 50-50 in the middle. So try to push the ball like out this way. And the way you want to do that is try to hit the ball with the front of your car and not flipping super early. But as you're about to make contact, then initiate the flip so you can get that added power, and that's what's going to give a bit more direction to it. Small thing, but small margins matter in these situations. Because that was close to being in my net. Yeah, this is a good fake. And this is what ends up ending this first game. And the fake really, it's about the threat. So you see how the fake immediately, so play fast, play fast, play fast. And then you fake here. So you wait for him to challenge, because if I hit that into him, that obviously he would have jumped, and then you would have an easy single jump 50. Generally, he would have actually done a decent thing there, but the problem is he also single jumping away. He's kind of like this, and not with direction. but just kind of floating. And that kind of floating can be dangerous for that reason. A lot of different reasons, but particularly the main reason is in a position like that, if you're floating, you see how like you lose momentum and that separation? That's enough separation for me to gain control further and then be able to actually like push the ball towards his net. That's one of the big reasons why it's a problem in that play. So we're going to go ahead and go right into the second replay. Okay, so here we are in the second replay of the video. And you're going to very much obviously tell this guy was clearly underranked. If the chain dashing was an indication right away, the flip reset, the mustard, of course, you know, it's always a good giveaway. It's got all those mechanics. I feel like this guy's playing like he's on like 2,000 pounds of Adderall. Like just pure chaos, pure movement, and there's just not a lot of thinking going on. Not a lot of awareness. Super awkward. Unfortunately, didn't get that bump there. But what I had to do was just kind of just keep my play style consistent and just say, okay, if this guy's going to play this way, just try to play as well from a defensive standpoint. Just play aware and just be careful. Not a great setup on the flip, on the flick rather. It's just put myself way too far behind. Ideally, like what you want to do is you want to try to put yourself in a position where if you kind of, until you get really used to it, pay attention to that circle. Just kind of visually kind of be aware that circle's there. You see how like here, how far behind the circle? If I could just be a tiny bit further ahead to where my front axle is actually all the way through that, that's where you can start getting like a little bit easier control. And that's when you'll find flicks are easier to set up. Here the opponent goes for their first major offensive play. Well, the second one technically, but first one that's actually like legitimately threatening. So he was like, okay. Again, super weird opponent. Yeah, I have to recognize that's not good to be flipping there. The reason it's not good to be flipping there is because the opponent's already committing to it and they're already going to potentially get possession. It's better to just kind of back off of it, get the corner boost, or put myself in a better position, knowing that spot isn't really going to work. Or even just trying to place for a 50. Here he gets like a really crazy weird reset. I was like, okay, well, I get bumped, but again, it's just another save. He goes for the 500 chain dashes. Here, just take time. He's going to go for the double tap. He fucks up the double. That's fine. Again, you know, like, just like, what? It was like, I don't remember what season. It was like a season 8 or 18 or something, Grand Champion. It was one of the red Grand Champion tags, so it was probably season 8. Just weird player. And the reason I've showed this game, normally I wouldn't include this game, but I feel like games like this are also important to recognize that like when you're playing against like obviously much higher skilled players that are just weird. Sometimes they're going to try to force you to play their game. They're just going to play crazy. They're going to play like just do like weird shit that realistically normally wouldn't work against somebody of their similar skill level, but works because they're going against people that are obviously aren't necessarily at their level. I know I'm not, and that's fine. They're going for the bump. Unfortunately, bump doesn't really work, but do end up getting that bump to work a little bit, and then the opponent makes a bad touch here, and just you instantly have to capitalize. Against opponents that are like really weird like this, you just have to score. You have to just put as much pressure into goals as possible. Goes for the fake, that's fine. Here, flip, and then immediately just rotate wide. And then here, play it high because he's going to kind of play it slow, so that's why I went for the high jump there. Grab this boost, and immediately, you see how I'm rotating back? He's going for another reset. And then here, just play time. Kind of bummed I didn't get that shot, but that's fine. Cannot commit for that. Once again, when you're playing against people like this, you have to be really careful not to overcommit. That's why I like here, just take time, make sure I'm in a good spot, and then go for the challenge. Because in a position like this, like here, grab this boost, and that separation is the reason why I challenged. So even if he gets a flip and he's going for the second like flip reset here, again, the guy's a troll. Yeah, that's just weird. But even if they're going to go for the really weird like flip reset angle, you still need to like be aware of that separation, because those are minor moments where you can potentially challenge. You may not always be able to challenge, but those are moments where you can challenge a little bit more easily than if somebody is close to the ball completely. So Just things you want to kind of keep in your mind. Here, drop down, just kind of being aware of what the opponent's trying to do. Can't really do more than that, really. Just put myself in a good spot. Here, just fake up the wall just to see if the opponent's going to go. Again, like, obviously this guy's clearly doesn't need to be down here. But sometimes it's how it is. Ranked is like that. You just get some weird people. So here, just taking time, and then opponent overflips because they're obviously playing like a complete spaz. And then at this point, I'm like, okay, 3-0, you know, just keep pushing momentum. Of course, I lose this kickoff because I completely fucked the speed flip. I end up side flipping horribly. Something that still happens from time to time. It's just kind of unfortunately a thing that happens. And it's kind of annoying when it does, but it is what it is. And here it's just, I gave him the space. I put myself also in an awkward spot because I gave him the space, but also I also turned upfield in a position where I should have been playing kind of backward a little bit. Not like literally backwards, but I should have been in the position where like here, at this point, immediately turn around. Because like I need to recognize that like the opponent has the play here. So can turn this way too, and just do like a quick power slide turn, and then be in a position where I know this person's going to play off this way. So then as they start to push the ball here, push the ball here, push the ball, and then like immediately I need to already be backboard and then play for the challenge at this midpoint here when he's starting to go into the box. So the flip reset is really at its most dangerous really within this region where the box is, because of where you can change the directionality of the play really quickly without really having an easy time for the opponent or the defender to read it. So those are just adjustments to kind of be aware of. Yeah, let's get a kickoff. Again, just like you see the weirdness, and then of course he's going for, he fucks up the chain dash. And then that's what ends up ending the game. At this point, the guy's just like, okay, whatever, this guy is actually playing once, and then left. So lessons from this video, really just kind of be aware of challengeable moments. Try to read when you can challenge and when it's not a good point to challenge. It's not just about being in to out or out to in. And what that means is essentially being like in to out is essentially infield to outfield. And then outfield to infield is the opposite, or out to in. You also want to be aware of just like where you are in relation to your goal side and where you're turning and where your momentum is. Those moments do matter, especially in like situations where, for example, like I got scored on earlier. I was like creeping up way too much from my corner and coming up like here, instead of being in a position where I could play off the backboard and then play the defense there. That backboard defense there would have been much higher percentage than the one I had there, because it would have actually countered the movement of the flip reset much more easily, because as he's getting ready to scoop for the reset, or at least get his reset and then scoop, then you would already be challenging it and you'd be in the way of that. But by being here, for example, like placing myself for the challenge, I can't really get there in time, for one, and it's also two, I'm playing from a shadowing perspective instead of from the perspective of countering. So just, again, these are small things you want to be careful of. That being said, if you want me to replay, review your games, let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and if you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Speedy Man out.